Alright, just another model looking at these same things again. Common iliac artery and vein, internal iliac artery and vein, external iliac artery and vein. In here we can see our superior gluteal artery, inferior gluteal artery, internal pudendal artery, obturator artery and nerve, psoas major, iliacus, femoral nerve, inguinal ligament, femoral vein, artery and nerve, femoral artery and vein, saphenous nerve, adductor hiatus, gluteus maximus, gluteus medius. Underneath of this is the gluteus minimus here, piriformis, sciatic nerve. I showed you some of the other things on the other video. Take these muscles off here. You can follow sciatic down. Here's your popliteal artery and vein coming out of the adductor hiatus, sciatic nerve. Take off these muscles. Down the back of the leg we can see tibial nerve with our posterior tibial artery. You can see a little branch that's common peroneal, but it doesn't show the whole thing here. Alright, we're looking at this, our friend. We can see our trapezius muscle here, occipital artery and nerve here. Sternocleidomastoid muscle we can see here from the back and around the side, and you see these white lines laying on top of it. That's actually branches from your spinal accessory nerve that are feeding the sternocleidomastoid muscle. We lift that off. You can see your levator scapulae, rhomboid minor, rhomboid major, supraspinatus, infraspinatus. If we look at this guy, we can see our trapezius, latissimus dorsi here, teres minor, teres major, deltoid, levator scapulae, rhomboid minor, rhomboid major, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major. On this one we can also see this muscle here under the latissimus dorsi, which is your posterior serratus. So this would be serratus posterior inferior, because you actually have one up here under these rhomboid muscles that you can't see. We can see those on the cadaver though. Then you have these muscles here, which are deep back muscles of posture. These are called your erector spinae muscle group. And there are three muscles in this group. The one closest to the spines of the vertebrae is called the spinalis. That's not real clear on here, but it would be right next to those spines. Then we have this portion here, which is called the longissimus thoracis. And then we have this outer portion here, the most lateral, which is called iliocostalis. Gluteus maximus. Take this off. Gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, piriformis, superior gemellus, obturator internus, inferior gemellus, quadratus femoris. Alright, I just want to show you another torso just in case. Here's your trapezius, here's your latissimus dorsi, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major. Here's your serratus posterior inferior. These are your erector spinae, so this would be iliocostalis, this would be longissimus thoracis, and you can't really see spinalis on here. Gluteus maximus, cut here. Gluteus medius, cut. Gluteus minimus. Piriformis, sciatic nerve. Superior gemellus, obturator internus. Inferior gemellus, quadratus femoris. Now I know how much you guys love this model, but we just have to go over it. Unfortunately, it's going to be on your practical. So we'll start up here with the esophagus. Here's your stomach. So this would be your cardiac region, your fundus, your body, your pyloric region. This is your liver, so this is the left lobe, the right lobe. Here's your gallbladder, so this is your quadrate lobe. Here's your cystic duct, hepatic duct, common bile duct. If you look down in here, you can see the celiac trunk giving off splenic artery, left gastric way down in there, right here. Left gastric, splenic, common hepatic, proper hepatic, cystic, right hepatic, left hepatic. Here is your splenic vein coming across. Here's your superior mesenteric vein coming up. So that would make this blue part your hepatic portal vein. You can see your vena cava back there going through the liver. This would be your superior mesenteric vein here. You can see your left gastro-omental artery on this greater curvature of the stomach. Here is your transverse colon, splenic flexure, tinea coli, haustra. This is all ileum and jejunum. So these are all your ileal and jejunal branches with your marginals and your straight. And this is all mesentery in here. Now these big yellow dots are just lymph nodes, but all this red is holding the small intestine down, so this is all mesentery. Here's your ascending colon, hepatic flexure. Here's another tinea coli. Here's your haustra. This guy right here is the appendix. Here's mesocolon. Okay, you can see your marginal arteries and veins and straight arteries and veins as well in there. Here's your inferior vena cava, superior vena cava. Here's your split. So this is your right common iliac artery. It's going to go down. This would be your right external iliac artery and vein, because here's common, here's external. That's your inguinal ligament. So this would be femoral artery and vein. Coming up the medial aspect and dumping into the femoral vein is your great saphenous. Excuse me. Let's see what else we have on here. Here's your femoral artery and vein. Doesn't really show nerves on this model. Here is your ascending lateral circumflex femoral. That looks like it might be medial circumflex femoral. This is deep femoral, giving off perforating branches. Here's the continuation of the femoral artery going into the adductor hiatus. This would be the descending branch of your lateral circumflex femoral. And I believe that that's all you can really see on this guy. Okay, here's another one that you guys don't really like all that much. But on him you can see your trapezius here. You can see posterior intercostal nerves here. You can see your esophagus coming through the esophageal hiatus. Here's your stomach. This right here would be your left gastric artery coming up and around in that lesser curvature. This is superior, one of the branches off of superior mesenteric. Here's the continuation of superior mesenteric artery with your ileal and jejunal branches here, marginals and straights. Here's your ileum and jejunum. This is your transverse colon with Haustra and Taenia coli. You can actually see the inside of the stomach there with the rugae, which is kind of neat. This is all vagus nerve plexus coming down, feeding the stomach. This is your quadratus lumborum muscle. This is mesentery, the gray part. Here's your sigmoid colon, here's your rectum, here's your urinary bladder, prostate gland, visceral peritoneum here on top of the bladder coming up, becoming parietal peritoneum here. No liver here. Here's your inferior mesenteric artery labeled with the 42 there. Here is your abdominal aorta splitting, and on this side we can see our common iliac artery and vein here. We can also see part of our lumbar nerves. They're kind of in orange on this model. Here you have subcostal, iliohypogastric, ilioinguinal, genitofemoral, lateral femoral cutaneous, femoral. This big one is sciatic. There is no obturator nerve on here. You can see part of the ureter coming down and emptying into the bladder. What else can we see on here? I believe that this, you can see iliacus muscle here where these nerves are laying on top of, but I believe that that's it. That's definitive on here. Oh, you can see the spleen right here behind the stomach. That's kind of neat.